I get it, you're staring at a blank wall in your home bar or the back of your small restaurant, and you keep wondering whether dropping a few $100 on a full-size beverage cooler is a smart move or just a pricey decoration. You've probably seen a dozen sleek, glass door units on Instagram, each promising to keep your beer at the perfect chill while looking like a piece of modern art. The hesitation kicks in. What if it's too big for the space, too noisy for a quiet dinner, or just doesn't cool fast enough for a sudden rush? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's walk through the real-world considerations that will help you decide if the Coolski 53-inch 3-door beverage refrigerator is the right fit before you hand over your money. First off, size matters. The Coolski is a 53-inch tall, Undercounter-style unit that takes up roughly 12 cubic feet of interior space. That translates to about 60 standard 12-ounces cans per shelf, or a couple of rows of soda bottles and a handful of wine bottles if you're feeling fancy. For a home enthusiast with a dedicated bar nook, it can replace a cluttered fridge shelf and give you a visible, organized display. For a small-scale restaurant or a coffee shop that wants a back bar cooler without sacrificing floor space, the footprint is actually generous enough to hold a weekend's worth of inventory but still fits under most commercial prep counters. If you have a cramped kitchen or only a few bottles to store, you'll end up with a lot of empty real estate, so the unit may feel overkill. Cooling performance is where the rubber meets the road. Coolski advertises fast and efficient cooling, and the reality is that a commercial-grade compressor paired with 3 separate doors means each compartment can maintain its own temperature set point. In practice, I've heard users report that a full load of 24-pack cases reaches the target 38°F within an hour and a half. That's quick enough for a bar that needs to restock after a rush, and it's also reassuring if you're loading up a batch of craft beers on a Saturday night and want them ready by Sunday brunch. The downside is that the unit runs continuously when fully stocked, which can add up on your electricity bill if you're in a region with high rates. It's not the most energy-savvy appliance on the market, but it's comparable to other commercial back bar coolers in the same price tier. One of the selling points that often gets glossed over is the ETL and NSF sanitation certification. For a food service environment, those stamps mean the interior coating meets strict hygiene standards, and the door gaskets are designed to be easy to wipe down without harboring bacteria. In a home setting, that translates to less worry about odors lingering after you switch from beer to soda or wine. The LED lighting inside the unit is bright but not harsh, making the contents visible without blowing out your eyes when you open the doors. Some reviewers have mentioned that the light can be a bit too intense for a dimly lit bar vibe, but the simple fix is to install a dimmer switch or use a low-wattage bulb if the unit allows it. Durability is another practical concern. Coolski builds its commercial fridge with stainless steel panels and a reinforced door hinge system. The 3-door design distributes weight more evenly, so you're less likely to experience sagging shelves as you load heavier kegs. The glass doors have a tempered finish that resists scratches, but they're still glass, so if you have a rowdy crowd that bangs the doors, you might see minor chips over time. The compressor is sealed and serviceable by a technician, but the brand doesn't offer an extended warranty beyond the standard 1-year term, so keep that in mind if you plan to run the unit for many years. Now, who should actually buy this? If you run a boutique bar, a craft brewery taproom, or a small restaurant that wants to showcase a rotating selection of bottled drinks, the Coolski hits a sweet spot. Its 3-door layout lets you separate beers, soft drinks, and maybe a specialty cocktail mixer, each at its own optimal temperature. The visual appeal of the glass doors and LED lighting can become a focal point in a modern bar design, encouraging patrons to browse and order on impulse. Home users who love entertaining, host weekly game nights, or keep a personal collection of craft brews will also appreciate the convenience of grabbing a cold can without digging through a regular fridge. Conversely, if you're a casual drinker who only needs a place for a few 6-packs, or if your space is limited to a standard Undercounter cabinet, you'll likely waste both space and money. The unit's price point is higher than a simple mini fridge, and the power draw is proportionally larger. Also, if you need a unit that can handle large kegs or requires a temperature as low as 32°F for certain lagers, The Coolski's minimum setting of around 35°F might not be low enough, meaning you'd need a separate kegerator.